Hey foodie friends, welcome back. It's been quite a while since I've done any sort of blue crab video about delivery. I had a couple deliveries over the last 3 years. You've probably seen those videos. And this time I'm trying a brand new place called Jimmy's Seafood. Actually, it's Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Here you go. Right there on the side. And just like other types of orders, you can order them, but then tell them what day to deliver it, and they won't send it until the day before. So we're going to crack it open and see what it's all about. Oh, and these guys, they're my Halloween helpers. It's almost that time of year. So even though I didn't ask for it, they gave me this little mallet. I do still like my closet rods much better. My husband and I got this idea years ago when we were eating at a seafood place, and they had these. They're nice and heavy duty. But I have to say, out of all the mallets I've ever held, this is a heavier duty one than you would normally get in your standard seafood restaurant. So maybe we'll try it and see how it does compared to my closet rod. So it comes with a fact sheet, just general information about defrosting, refrigerating, and I guess you can scan that little thing and it tells you more. And it comes with a lot of table paper. Wow. That's pretty cool. It's super thick. It's got like Jimmy's stuff written all over it. And it's got insulation that I don't normally see in seafood boxes. It's kind of like house insulation or something. So I'm turning it so you can see better. It has these little ice packs in here. And they're nice and cold. It's like dry ice, I think. Set those in there. Wow, they're serious about their ice. So there's these other kind of ice packs. I have not had a delivery this packed with ice before. That is like burn your fingers cold. So be careful. Like I'll grab it with the paper. So in the past, the crabs came cold, really chilled, but not frozen. But I have a feeling these might be frozen, which I have frozen crabs before, as you know, in the freezer. And they usually freeze as long as they're fresh to begin with and don't smell. They'll be great later when you reheat them. All right, let's take these out and get the box out of the way. Now this is supposed to be a dozen crabs, and I believe it could be, but I won't know till I get it open. Oh, it's a boy! Congratulations! And actually they're supposed to be male crabs. To me, I like them way better than female crabs, but they do cost a little bit more. I don't know what the name of it is, but there's these old, they've been around forever. They're like a little design, and it's like a ball instead of a ball instead of a ball, and you have to, it looks like a toy, a dog or something, and you got to take the top off, and there's another one, and take top off, take top. What is that anyways? Well, that's what this feels like. These are really nice. Nice and jumbo as they said they would be. They look nice and heavy and full. Just break them all apart a little bit. It's nice when their claws are folded in. When they're frozen, it's easier to get them out. But yeah, look at the size of that thing. And as you might have noticed, there's no seasoning on it, because in the past I've ordered seasoning and it was just way too much, like packed in seasoning, and then for the next day you're bloated up like a balloon because of all the sodium. So I like to use my own anyway. But I can say that these might smell the freshest of the other places I've tried. And I'll say Dynasty Crab was one. I did that about a year ago. Take a look for that. And the other one I believe was called the Crab Place. So even though you probably want to wait till they're a little more thawed, I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning them and steaming them. You can either boil or steam them, but this time I'm going to go ahead and do the steam route. And it probably gives you instructions how to do it, but I've done this so many times that you just do it the way you like it. Boil it, steam it, seasoning, no seasoning, add the seasoning later. It doesn't matter. Let's go cook these suckers up. And each time my cast of characters might be a little different for seasoning crab, butter. But I'm going to melt some butter, and I like to do real butter. It turns out that's not bad for you, but that's a long story, and the margarine is not good for you. Anywho, I put a little bit of lemon juice, my favorite crab seasoning. They went out of business, so I got to learn how to make it myself somehow to be just like that. A little bit of garlic powder, and some dill weed for a little bit of flavor and color. And I'm actually going to put a little half pack of It's just a half packet of a stevia monk fruit type of sugar-free sweetener that's really good for you, not bad for you like some of the other sweeteners. So you'll see me mix all that up here in a minute. Now, I've tried different little steamer stands in the past, but this one's pretty cool and it's pretty easy to clean. You just open it up like that. It's got these little feet on the bottom and this neat little stand so you don't burn yourself to death. And it fits in there perfectly, but even if it doesn't, it kind of curves to fit your pan. So let's put some water in it and a little seasoning at the bottom. So what I've started doing is I season the bottom sides of them because that's the meat side, and I've noticed that it penetrates better into the meat. So let me set this down and do that and put another layer on. I'll be right back. So I've got them all seasoned up. I'm going to cover them up, put them on the front burner, and get cooking. Now I'm going to cook them on high until they actually start steaming through, and then I keep them covered for another couple minutes just to make sure that they're done. And they're already cooked. They come cooked. So you don't want to cook them to death. You just want to reheat them. And in the meantime, I'm going to bag these up, mark the date that I got them, and put them in the freezer since they're already pretty much frozen. Because what I have in the pot is plenty for my dinner. So I put it in a 2-pound bag, and it holds a lot in there, and it keeps it nice and fresh from getting the freezer burned. Put my date on it, and I'm going to go put it in the freezer. So I've got my butter heating on low, and once it melts, I'm going to go ahead and put in my ingredients that I showed you. Okay, so it's melted. I'm going to turn it off and just let it kind of sit on the hot grates there. And the crab should be done soon. Going to get you a better close-up look of the butter. And again, you use any type of ingredients and mixture that you want. So you see this is starting to steam, but I want to steam pretty good, especially because they were somewhat frozen. So I want to make sure they're nice and hot inside. And in the meantime, while you're heating up your crabs and butter, make sure you have all your tools. Sometimes I've sat down at the table and forgot half of the stuff I needed, and you gotta hop back and forth. Got your plate, if you do it on plate or paper. Got your little bowl to put butter in. Got your other bowl to put shells in. All your favorite implements for opening it. And the bowl to deliver them in. Aren't they cute? That's so cute. So you can scan that little thing that says instructions on how to reheat them, but usually what you do is you steam them for about 8 minutes till you really see the steam coming out, and then that's where I like to let it just sit a little bit more with the fire off because it can't hurt anything. Just to sit a little bit more just to make sure it's through and through. So let's come back in a second. Okay, so it's been steaming for several minutes. I'm going to turn it off. Keep the lid on for a little bit, maybe a couple more minutes, and then uncover them. I'm sure they'll be nice and hot. My butter's ready to go, but just before I eat, I'm going to heat it just a smidge before I put it in the bowl so it stays hot. Okay, here comes the big reveal. Now I use tongs because I don't want to burn my hands off, or you could just get a oven mitt. Beautiful. I don't want to steam my lens up. All right, we'll let them cool down and we'll get started. Oh, and another thing I want to say is these have no smell. The last couple batches from the last couple places were smelly, like some were cooked probably from dead prior, and that's not good. And I wondered if the one place always has the same kind of strange smell. Great meat, great quality of meat, but it always smelled funny. So I wondered if when they steamed them, did they use kind of like old water maybe? I'm not sure, but these smell perfect, like they just came off the Potomac River or the Chesapeake Bay. All right, so here they are. Nice and steamy hot, very hot to the touch. In fact, I'll have to let them cool down just a little bit. And poured my butter in a little butter cup after I reheated it a little bit more. I think this is gonna be really good. And they still smell good. They smell really good. They don't smell bitter or foul or anything like that. So at this point, because there's not a lot of places to choose from, Jimmy's Famous Crabs will be my go-to place for crabs. Although they were a little bit more expensive than some of the others, sometimes you do get what you pay for. And although I didn't mention the price yet for a dozen jumbos, you know, you can get females, they're the cheapest. You can get usually small or medium, and then large, extra large males. It depends on, some say colossal. So it depends on what you get, and I chose the jumbos, which again are, I'll have to look here, but I want to say it's 6 something to maybe almost 7 inches point to point. And to make this more like I'm at the restaurant, I'm going to use their paper kind of folded up because it's quite large, which is nice. It can cover a good sized table. But I will go ahead and set it right under my plate. Oh yes, that's much better. I think I can hear the seagulls out on the Chesapeake Bay. I'm getting a separate bowl because the husband doesn't really like to pick these, even though I finally taught him how to do it a number of years ago. But I have a feeling they're going to be good. If they are good, I'm going to put some in here for him to try in front of you guys when he gets home. Okay, so I'm ready to break into these. I've been waiting. Yum yum, hopefully. I can finally grab them without burning my fingers off. Let's go for it. Now, in the past, I've kind of did a video or two on how to eat crabs, and we can sort of double that up for anybody here that's new, that's kind of wondering. Everybody's got a different way of eating them. This is just how I learned when I was a little girl. So I like to take off all the claws and legs first. If any meat comes out with it, little dippity-doo. My first test. That's a little bit of meat, but oh my gosh, is it good. Oh, thank goodness. It's good. It's not fishy. It's not tasting or smelling like ammonia, I think is the smell you get when the crabs have been dead before, and you crab eaters know what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to compare my closet rod mallet to their quite heavy duty crab mallet that they sent me for free. So let's try theirs. I like to just take the flat part of this forearm, what do you want to call that, on the claw? And I don't smash it to death, I just crack it so that it, oh, I think it's going to come out nicely. Put it in your little crab bucket there. Let's see, let's see. Ooh, it did. Look at that. Oh, this is a good day. Yay. All right, and make sure there's no shell. So there's a little piece of shell there, so you want to make sure there's no shell before you bite into it. All clean. I think we should start off with a good slow-mo. What do you think? Here we go. All right, let's stop playing with the food and let's try it. That is so clean and so delicious. I can honestly say at this point, after trying the other places and then them changing their quality, this so far ever is the best crab I've gotten online. Okay, so we tested their mallet. Let's use my mallet. That was good. It gave a good, clean crack. So if you do order from them, make sure you get one of those, or as many as you need for your friends. That way you don't have to pass around the table and keep sharing it because you're cheap. All right, here we go. So I whacked it till it just cracks and it comes open pretty good. Oh, this came out nicely. Look at that. And I like to pull all the shell off that I can and use this as a little lollipop handle. So that's how you crack the claw open. And there is some cartilage in the middle, and a friend of mine calls it the plastic, and you'll see why. So don't bite all the way through, just bite part way. That is so delicious, so robust. I only put a little bit of seasoning on, and I sprinkled on some on top for looks. And really, if it's good crab, you almost don't need any seasoning. I know, some of you are probably like, oh my gosh, be still my heart. So if you want to really get at the rest of the meat, just pick that little piece off. And you just sort of, kind of like eating a chicken wing. And by the way, I don't know if I'll have the option to use this today because the crab's coming out so cleanly, but as I've shown in some past videos, I have the smallest spoon with the smallest cheap thin handle, like from the dollar store. And let's say the meat was stuck in there. I put it on the flat side and I just scoop the meat out. And I've shown that in the past where the whole piece of meat came out. Eat it like that. But since then, because some crab is even smaller, hard to get the handle in there to get the meat, I found these online and they're sturdy enough that they don't just bend. They're almost like, I guess, cocktail spoons, like cocktail forks. That's where I got them. I think it was on eBay. I don't even know. Amazon, whatever. So you just get in there. I'll show you again. Oh, and even if it's the claw. Okay, so see how the claw has a little bit at the top there? If you don't want to get your hands in there, you would just scoop it out like that. And then this is always the good backup crab cracker. There's different shapes and sizes, but what I don't like, and I think even when we went to Red Lobster recently, they have the big, almost very hard to handle, oversized, more like lobster crackers. They're huge. But I like this particular shape. It has the little piece part here for little pieces and a bigger part here. It's great for snow crab too. So that's what I use. But when I can, I use this because it's so much easier to work with. You just whack it, crack it. Oh, I might have to make a bumper sticker. Whack it and crack it with a picture of a crab. I know, don't try to be funny, just eat. Okay, so we're gonna do this claw later because we just showed how to do the claw. So I'm gonna set that aside. So what I like to do, and everybody does it different again, is I like to take all the legs out. And when the legs are this big, they often have meat in them. First of all, you get that little, oh, look at the steam. Can you see the steam? A little dippity-doo. Oh, my mouth is watering. Sweet, amazing, wonderful meat. So you can get meat out of the legs. I've even got meat out of these little tiny parts, look. And here's the very end that people throw away, but you never know. Meat, people, meat. But yeah, I'll definitely eat these later because I've seen on some YouTube videos they just throw them straight in the trash, which is a shame. So this is the back fin. This is where when you get lump crab and jumbo lump and all that, that's where it comes from. That's the big part. I don't know if it's all gonna come. See, he's so heavy, which is good, that it didn't come out, but I'll show you when we crack into that. But here's his back fin knuckle, if you wanna call it. Okay, so it didn't come out. Take this tiny little spoon and just go in for it. Watch. Look at that. Who would have thought that that much meat would come out of there? I'm so gonna order some more. I'm so gonna order some more. I have frozen some crabs that were borderline, and when I reheated them, it just wasn't good. So these are, I'm telling you, they are just, again, if you know your crabs, you know fresh, and this is fresh. Yes, it came frozen, but I'm saying it was cooked fresh. And by the way, they don't know I'm making this video, but they're gonna know because they're on Facebook. Every once in a while you get a bonus. Now if your crabs are lighter, usually all the meat comes out, but you really don't want it to because you want that big, heavy, meaty crab for what you paid. Dippity-doo. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep making these faces, but it's that good. It is that good. I've never tried it with garlic and butter before until I went to a restaurant that loaded it with garlic, and oh, it was so good. And they had a little spice and stuff in there too. Oh, got another one. Sorry, we gotta eat this while we're getting to the middle. I'll save the legs. Okay, so this is a male because he has this little, I've heard some people call it the Washington Monument. That's how you can think of it. It's a little skinny appendage where the females have like a big triangle. And the females, to me, have a weird, smaller, weird inside, harder to get the meat out. It's full of the eggs and stuff that I'm not a fan of. Some people love it. You put that in she crab soup, whatever. But the males are just easy to eat. So you just pop this little appendage, break that out like that. Throw that away, there's no meat in there. And in the past years, I used to put my fingers in here and sometimes it would break on me and it could even cut your fingers. So now what I've seen one person do, and I've run with it, is grab a hold of, put your thumb in there, grab a hold of this side piece, and you just pull it open. And it's a lot safer. So for those of you that actually eat most of the crab, this stuff in here is edible. Now, a lot of people eat that stuff. I don't. That's like his weight innards. But this stuff, let me show you. It's kind of like the crab fat. And when you do soft shell crab, which I'm not into that, but if you do, this is kind of like what comes out with the soft shell crab. It's like that. It's very edible and it's usually pretty good. Let's try it. Okay, that's another thing. And the last ones I've tried the inside corners, inside of the little hood there. It was fishy, and a lot of times the color was green. And I don't know if it's because they were actually from other parts of the country or the world. This is the yellow fat. And when I see that, I know that the crab is just delicious, and it's usually local. I've only had crab from Maryland that had the yellow fat versus the green weird stuff, and it tastes weird too. Very bitter, but this is really good. Now here's a fun fact. I watched my husband do this, and I would have never thought of it, but after you peel the lungs off, you can just peel the lungs off like that. That way you get a better hold of it. Just scrape off the lungs. And they call it dead man's fingers or something. When I was little, they called it that. So I'm gonna get my bucket here to show you what my husband does. He takes the point and he does like that. Instead of using his fingers, because he's kind of dainty, he's like a cat in water when it comes to using his fingers, because he doesn't like to touch all that goop. So it just scrapes it right out. You can save it if you want to make some kind of crab cakes and clean the shell up and stuff it in the shell. That's an idea. I've never actually thought to do that. He does love crab cakes and shrimp crab cakes, any mix like that he doesn't have to pick. Okay, so it's pretty much all cleaned out. Some people take a knife, they'll just cut it right down the middle, and then they'll cut it again. I'll show you. But what I do is I don't need the tools. I just break it, squeeze it in. It breaks it one way, out like that, and boom, out it comes. Sometimes you get little pieces out with it. Look at the steam, it's still steaming. That's how nice and long these stay warm, but they're manageable. Just don't burn your hands on them. And then what they'll do is they'll take their knife, set it down and cut it right down the middle. The problem with that is that you're gonna have shell. Anytime you cut with a knife, even when you get ribs and stuff, if you don't wash, they cut it. And so the edge of your ribs, the bones, have all those little bone bits, and that'll pretty much break your teeth if you get a hold of one of those. But with the shells, it's kind of the same thing. You cut through and you're pushing a bunch of shell in there. So I just squeeze it again this way. Open it that way, and look at that. Look at that. And now it's like I've said in the past, it's kind of like you have an orange and you're just picking the segments out of the orange. So the lump crab was in the back here. Now it's kind of split in half because the other half came out with the other part, but often you can pull the lump crab. This is the whole piece. I piece them together, poor guy. He gets no dignity. So that is the back fin lump meat, in case you're wondering. I can't wait to try it. I know it's gonna be good. That touch of sugar in there makes it good. The meat's good by itself. Puts even better in there. So we're just gonna take out the rest of the segments, because remember each leg, there was a leg. Each leg has its own little compartment there. You see that? Peel it like an orange. The inside of an orange, segments. And here's the other side. The other side is a little bit harder to deal with because it's not perfect segments. It has like different directions. So just pick it out. Dippity-doo. It's the best crab I've ever had online, ever. Now, years ago I did do a video on the picked crab, picked jumbo lump crab that I got from the crab place in Maryland. And at that time it was really good. Then I ordered it the next time and it wasn't. So you have to kind of be flexible on where you're going to order from. So, but I think shipping was only like $20, and it's still not bad for that huge box that you get. $20. When I go to send a couple of small Christmas gifts with cards or something in it to my family, it's expensive. Like, it's more expensive than shipping crabs. So all I'm doing is Just picking out, you kind of squeeze. Because remember, it doesn't come out like segments like the other side. And by itself, it's amazing. So as I mentioned, the husband's on his way home. I'm going to open some crab for him, put it in this little bowl, and have him dip it in some butter and see what he thinks. So I'm just going to open it just like we did. So stay tuned for him to get here and try it. So Brian's home. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, everybody.
How was your day?
Your day was great.
Wonderful. So I saved you some crab and a little tiny fork to try it with.
Okay.
And go ahead and try the claw and see what you think. There's some melted butter already kind of in there.
All right, so this is a blue crab claw.
And you didn't even have to pick it. What do you think?
That's good.
I thought it was really good.
Yep.
Just don't eat the plastic, as some people call it. So try the body meat. Show them what you're eating. So I got some melted butter in there. That is actually the arm. That's the, where the claw is here. That's his forearm.
All right, let's see what this forearm tastes like.
I guess his upper arm.
Tastes a little muscular.
It's good. That's a.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, really meaty, very meaty crabs. They were jumbos.
So where did this part come from?
Somewhere in the inside, the side, where the legs.
So we're going to eat his innards.
Well, not his guts, but yeah. How you like it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
And you have a little butter and stuff on it too.
Yep, I put a touch of garlic in there, not too much. A little bit of crab seasoning and a little bit of lemon juice.
Okay, where'd this come from?
That is part of another arm, and that looks like some of the inner leg meat.
So his arm and his innard legs. Yeah, that's really good.
All right, we'll finish it up. I'm gonna go finish mine in the other room. So just give it a whack till it just... So I'm gonna go in the other room and finish these, more like devour them. But in the meantime, the crab says, if you like these types of videos, then maybe hit that little subscribe button, maybe even the like button, and thank you so much for watching! Yay!